Welcome to the Pretty Red ENT show. It's your girl, Goddess Nikita, aka Pretty Red ENT. And I just want to send love and light out into the whole world. And if no one told you they loved you today, just know that Goddess Nikita loves you. Okay, guys, I was debating if I was going to do an episode tonight or not, but I decided to go ahead and do this episode. Here's what I want to tell y'all. Some people's divine purpose, okay? I always tell people, once you wake up to your divine purpose, okay, what your purpose is on this planet, then if you realize, if you prayed or you asked the universe to, or Mother Earth, and you ask them to remove the people that doesn't mean you any good. And all of a sudden all your friends is gone. Every single one of them. And then you're not cool with none of them even after you come off your spiritual journey. Okay? What does that tell you? They had a purpose, a divine purpose to be in your life. Okay? A lot of people don't look at it like that, but this is a real statement, guys. No lie. No lie, no cap. So I guess I want to talk about it because I was having a conversation with my great aunt the other day. And if you're part of my family, you probably know who I'm talking about as soon as I start to if you're part of that set of the family, you know exactly who I'm talking about and why, okay? So I remember I was talking one day to my cousin. This is a sidebar to the story I'm going to tell. I was talking to my cousin one day, and she's like, well, why this particular aunt ain't teaching the young ones what she know? And I'm like, I don't know, but I know that grandma told her to do that. And the fact that she isn't, she's not even honoring her mom's wishes. And she's not honoring the family wishes. But, sometimes they do a workaround, which technically in reality, it was never her position to wake our family up. It was always the people that are woke in our family now. And so I look at it in a different perspective than how I did before. Okay, guys, as my aunt, she's very knowledgeable. She's really smart. She beat a lot of family odds, and she's just very knowledgeable. The problem is that sometimes people create more chaos than they do enlightenment, or they have a very unique way of how they do it, okay? It depends on how you look at it. I always tell people, look at stuff from a different perspective. Because what you might think you're seeing, it could just be something totally different, okay? So, for prime example, guys, I was talking to my great aunt. I was talking with my son's school, okay? He goes to a Catholic school. And the thing is, I really want it to go a certain way. But they started adding people to the email, so I started adding people to the email. That was just me being petty. For real talk. Hey, why you keep tagging 4 or 10 people in this email and don't tell me that you're adding people to the email? And I told y'all I don't like that. Tell me their purpose on why they are emailing me. Then you're saying, she tried to say I gave my consent away. Give my consent away for you to act as a parent on the behalf of Malaga? Oh, okay, you're right. Continue. So I tagged my great aunt in this message, okay? Because my great aunt, she's very knowledgeable, especially when it comes to stuff what I'm kind of going through. And just in general, if you want to know something about higher intelligence, she's the aunt most of our family goes to, okay, on this particular set of family, on this side. So, make a long story short, my aunt writes back and she's like, well, I don't think that you need to announce what you're doing. And if you're using any magic, you need to stop. She said, you don't need to tell them that you're using any magic. Plus, karma doesn't work that way. I said, excuse me? Hold on. I said, why do I gotta hide who I am? I'm not gonna hide. Like, have you watched the Minions? I know some of y'all watched the Minions when he actually was, when Gru was with that girl. And she was like, I need you to come back with me. And she's like, lipstick taser. And then she tased him with the lipstick. She announced it. Why I can't do that? But I didn't even announce anything that I was using magic because I didn't even begin to even use magic. And if I was magicking, it'd be totally different is what I'm going to say. So make a long story short, because I do believe in magic. Like, I believe everything we do is magic. You can make magic happen out of just a person smiling. That's magic to me. I'm walking and I smile and a person smile back at me. Like, that's magic. Okay, guys. So my magic and some people magic is totally different. But in general, there is magic out there. Like, that is real. So make a long story short, she goes in and she starts telling me like different things. And I'm like, okay, this is a test. And I was like, well, and I remember how I wrote her back in the email and it was very particular on what I say. And I always tell people, like, I pay attention to how I say certain stuff to certain people because at that moment I could just be channeling. I channel naturally. So it's like, I could be talking to you, but then it could be somebody else talking like to me, telling me what to tell you, or I could be reading something, or I could just be naturally tapped in, like, because I naturally am. So I'm just always channeling. Okay. So I want to make sure y'all get that. So then I remember telling her, she wrote me and she's just like, well, you can't be telling these people they have ruled over us. First of all, they might have ruled over you, but they ain't ruled over me. And they ain't never ruled over my family. Because at some point, if you actually think back to history and you use logical sense, at some point, for real, what it sounds like, even slavery, was that I don't believe slavery even existed. I just believe that at some point they were killing particular black people. And some black people just fell in line because they didn't want to, be harmed. Like, they're like, oh, we just want peace. Why can't y'all just leave us alone? Like, you want to be the leader, just go ahead, be the leader. But at some point, we shouldn't have been making shit for them, though. So I tell her, I said, they're not stuck here. I'm not stuck here with these people. Because that's what she said. She said, you're here on their turf and their land. First of all, this was never the colonizers' turf, ever. Get that straight. This was never their turf. This was ours. So at that moment, I go back and I claim my power. Guys, like, no. So when I say that to her, I send an email back like, my family, this was our land. That means they stuck here with us. We ain't stuck here with them. At the moment that any person wakes up that's native to this land and they be like, bruh, y'all really stuck here with us. We are not stuck here with y'all. And we start terrorizing them like the way that they did us. Like, but it's to the point where, like, we want you out. Why can't you go back to where you come from? Because you don't probably even have no origin. You're not even allowed back where you from. Get what I'm saying? Like, certain things just don't add up and it don't make sense. But at some point, once the people of this land wake up and we're like, we're not stuck here with y'all, y'all actually stuck here with us, then guess what happens? We start rattling the chains. We start going back as a collective, claiming our power. That's what y'all don't understand. It's all about claiming your power back. Maybe we gave this power away. Now, baby, the descendants is claiming they power back. At all costs, like ASAP, shots fired, whatever you feel about it. Like, for real. So at some point, when you're talking to me, just know I'm going to really go in. Like, people don't understand that. Like, don't talk to me. I don't care if you my family member or you not a family member. Okay, like, DNA related or not, like, you cannot come to me and tell me that we've been here, that we are on their land. There's no way we're on these people's land if they was not here. That's what y'all not understanding. These people was never here. We're not on their land. We're on our land. I'm not allowing anything to slip. So maybe I should read y'all the email for real that I sent to the school so you can understand why me and my aunt was having this talk or whatnot. But then it was so crazy because she doesn't believe in karma. She said karma doesn't work that way. The way that I was saying, I said, whatever you do, remember, whatever you do or however you treat someone will be how you will be treated. But in actual reality, karma does work that way. Okay, guys, like, and I want to say that to say to y'all, karma works this way because imagine, I only can tell y'all from my healing experience. I used to walk around like, why, God, is all these people doing stuff to me? But I used to hold on to the stuff that they was doing. I used to hold on to it. I'm telling you. And then, I'm a Lil Wayne fan, so y'all know me. I quote Wayne like crazy. That's my guy. Shout out to him. Give him a clap. Wayne, one of the realest music gods ever to walk this planet. He is the best. He will always go down in history. Nobody's better than him. But anyways, Lil Wayne goes and says, you got to be careful on what you do and how you do it, because just make sure you dress karma beautiful. I think that's what he said, just dress karma beautiful. Make sure you dress karma. And it's like that song with him and Drake. But he basically said, you need to make sure that you dress karma beautiful. I don't care what he said before. Just make sure you dress karma beautiful. And when I say that, I really mean that, because when I went on my healing journey, guys, and I'm like, all right, I need to, I'm telling y'all, spirit work with me. Holy Spirit, God, the universe, my angels, my ancestors, Mother Earth, they all work with me through my healing. I didn't have a spiritual counselor or somebody I could call. And people I was listening to didn't even make sense. So literally spirit sat me down and just worked with me. But this is what I asked for. So there's a difference. But then, make a long story short, guys, just to clarify a few things. So when Spirit was working with me with all this stuff, Spirit was like, hey, you need to do a lot of release work because you've been holding on to this stuff. When I say karma is a whole different energy, y'all don't understand. Karma is a whole different energy. It's a whole different energy, bruh. And karma work for the universe. So you got to understand something. So I actually met Karma. Me and Karma talked. And she listen, I remember I did a lot of release work around everything, every angle in my life, relationships, things, places, childhood. I did all of this. And then my biggest release was, my best friend passing away. So that was a whole lot. But then Karma came up to me and Karma said to me, all right, you finally let go. The thing about karma is you have to let go. Guys, stop holding on to things that people do to you. Let it go. So that way karma can come take it, and God, the universe, can take it and do what it needs to do. But I'm telling y'all, this is my story, and I know it's real because I went through it. I talked to Karma myself. Karma said, oh, you dress me beautiful. I can't even, I'm finna go serve karma. You literally have no karma for me to serve you. That's bad. What kind of person are you? Literally, this is the conversation we having. What kind of person are you? You're not you don't do anything wrong. I haven't came across a human being really that have not done nothing wrong. You literally are a good, genuine person. Karma's wow. And the next thing I know, Karma kissed me. She's so watch this. That moment when I talked to Karma and she said, watch this. I'm telling you, Karma did a sweep so fast. I was oh my gosh. Karma said, see. And then Karma came back around and said, see, imagine if you would have let go the moment they hurt you. What I would have did. I step in the moment you let go. So if you keep holding on to it, I can't do nothing because you're holding on to it. You're not dressing me up. You're not putting what they did out to you, out to the universe, and let it go. Let that hurt go, because you're not responsible for how they treated you. You're only responsible for your half only. And I was like, what? What? And then Karma came back. She was like, and I was talking to Karma, trying to bargain for a few different people. Karma said, you can't tell me how to return energy back. You held on to this for so long and you're not a bad person. I don't even understand why they even did that to you. That doesn't make any sense. But guess what happens? Whatever they put out comes right back to them tenfold. And I'm talking about at that moment, like people, this is how I knew if they did some hitting stuff to me. You got to understand, because sometimes I didn't even know some of the people who got hit did anything to me to harm me. Y'all don't understand. I'm telling y'all. I remember I was talking to a lady and I told her, I said, I don't know what you're doing, but you better be careful on how you deal with my mama kids. You better be very careful. Like, that's the only thing I'm going to tell you. You need to be very careful on how you deal with her kids. I wouldn't even deal with her kids, bro. I would skip her kids and go to try somebody else's. But I'll be very careful. And I would travel lightly if I was you. Boom. Next thing I don't know why I said that. So y'all got to understand something. I was naturally just channeling and never realized like what I was doing. Make a long story short. Boom. Something happened to her. Next thing I know, like, it was like everybody was receiving a karma. Like, and it was like, I didn't even realize that certain people was doing stuff. Like, and I'm like, dang, what just happened to you? Oh man, some crazy stuff just happened to me. What happened to you? I didn't even know nothing happened to them. I ain't talked to them in like years. And they just called me out of nowhere. I ran into them. They was just telling me all this stuff. They was like, man, it just came out of nowhere. Like, I don't know what's happening. I'm like, And then they had to be truthful to me. And that's what one thing that y'all don't understand. If you truthful to a person, everybody around you got to be truthful. Like, real talk. Like, if you truthful from your heart space, anybody who in your presence got to be truthful to you. Period. Okay, let me clap for that. You got to be truthful. Some people don't think that that's true. I'm telling y'all it's true. But the way how karma delivers. Karma has no favors. She has no favors. She does no picks. She will serve you even if she like you. For real. And this is what she told me. Like, she's like, I actually don't have nothing bad to deliver to you. Like, I actually owe you good karma. And then my path was just like really blessed. Like, I've been blessed ever since then. And I always tell people that, like, whatever people do to you, you are not responsible for how and what they do to you. You're only responsible for your half only, how you respond. How you respond. What you do. And I always respond out of love. And so the thing about my great aunt is sometimes, you know, I feel like she doesn't move out of love. And I think that she doesn't understand, like, whatever she thought she was doing, she might have thought like, oh, well, this can work. It doesn't work with me because I don't operate in that energy. I operate out of love. And love is the highest vibration. People can't touch you when you operate out of love. Are you serious? Stop playing with me. So I always say, guys, like, some people's divine purpose to me, because some people might be like, oh, her divine purpose is to keep you from your purpose. Because you got to understand something. I've been hearing like, hey, you can't. And what I notice with a lot of older people, it's like they're comfortable now. This is the first time in life they feel like they're comfortable and they're not being targeted. So they don't want young. What they do is they tell us not to speak, guys. Like, you can't tell me not to speak. Okay, like, because I'm an Aries. I don't like to be controlled. I don't care what's going on. Do not control me. I like to be free. And free as I am. Like, I don't like to, if you're going to be my friend, but let me be free. If I can't be spiritual and be your friend, then it's not for me. You're not for me and I'm not for you. And that's okay. And that's what people don't understand. Like, that is okay. Like, but I like people who just naturally just love me. Like me, my spirituality, all that. Like, and it's a difference. You can tell there's a difference when you're talking to people and when you're not talking to people who like your spirituality, who don't. Or, or some of my friends, they do identify as a witch. You feel me? And I'm like, all right, well, this particular friend, she's a witch. You feel me? Because at all times, like, I feel like if you're a witch, you should always identify. If you telling people you're a witch, you should always identify, like, what kind of witch are you? If somebody asks you, you should tell them. You shouldn't lie. You should never have to lie about who you are. That's one part of, like, I know, like, I got a lot of witch friends, like, that really be with the shits, guys. Like, and they don't have no problem in telling you what kind of witch they are. Like, they keeps it real. And people are like, well, why? Cool? Because they honest. I can deal with people who honest. I just don't like people who lie. And I know you're lying. Like, you look me in my eyeballs and dead ass lie. Like, you know what? I'm cool. I'm cool, boo. But needless to say, when I was talking to my great aunt, she was basically like, in her messages, was like, like, this, I didn't even read like 2 or 3 messages she sent me because I felt like if you wasn't writing me to support me on what I was talking about, then you shouldn't be saying nothing to me at all. Because you never once asked me, like, why did I write this email? Because if she would have asked me, she probably would have recanted all her stuff. Like, no lie. I only wrote what I wrote just to be, I was being honest. Like, but the way I was being honest, some people would be like, well, that was kind of petty. Well, no, it was honest, though. I'm an honest person. I don't care about nothing else. I am very, 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 very honest. I'm not lying to nobody. I can care less for lying. Lying is not for me. Okay, guys. So when talking with her, I realized at that moment, I said something slick to her. Like, guys, y'all got to understand something. Like, my mouth is like pretty, like when I channel, and it depends on who's channeling. Like, if they got a slick mouth, I'm probably going to say exactly what they said, exactly how they say it, and you going to know who it came from. Because even like when I do readings for people and like, their family come through, they be like, oh, I'm like, I don't know who that is. I feel like maybe that might be like an uncle or something. They be like, oh, yeah, that's my uncle. I could tell by the way you said this word right here. Like that's how it usually go. Like, for real. Because I remember when I got my reading done from Quinletta Dean, shout out to my babe. My grandma channeled through. And I'm like, oh, okay. But my grandma has a particular voice. So when she channeled through her, I'm like, oh, I know who that is. That's my grandma. I knew which grandma it was. You gotta understand something. There's a lot of grandmas. I knew which one that was because I can tell by the way how she was talking. I was a little shocked, but I can tell that was my grandma. Like that was that grandma. So I don't know, guys. Like, I really just feel some type of way, but I also want to talk about like some people, how like I feel like my aunt, she served her purpose. I said, imagine me because you told me not to speak or I shouldn't state what I'm doing, and I never stated that I was doing anything. Get what I'm saying? Like, so it just lets me know that she obviously thinks I have a magical power that protects me, which is true. But the whole thing is I feel like everybody do in their own little way. But when you're on the love vibration, that is protection. That is protection. Like when I talk about that love and light, what's that? When I be talking about love and light. And I remember I was talking to a voodoo priest. He was asking me, I said, so, man, it was, having words of the Battle of the Bands. And he was like, I was like, well, I can do that too. He's like, oh. And I was like, right. So what are you talking about? Get what I'm saying? And then the next thing I know, he's like, I said, but with love and light, they can't touch me. It's really weird. And it's like I knew it was real when I battled two Aries and they couldn't touch me. I knew it was real. Like, not saying that, hey, not any other zodiac sign. I just know that if an Aries, and Aries is the first house, you can't come into this planet unless you go through the first house, which is Aries. Are you serious? That is the first house. We own the first house. So when an Aries couldn't touch me and they right there in my face and I'm in love and light energy, they can't touch me. When did that let me know? Can't nobody touch me. So as long as I'm operating out of love and I'm doing my love and light, guess what happens? There ain't nothing you can do to touch me. And I think that, some people's purpose is to keep their family from waking up. Some people's purpose is to keep, other people off their divine purpose. Or if you're looking at it from that point of view, or you can look at it from a different one. Okay, guys? Maybe their divine purpose is to challenge you to become the person who you're supposed to be. And that's the other way of looking at it. And I told that to my cousin. I said, really, she actually helped me out to really look at it from a different point of view. Like, she helped me be who I am today. Like, just in general, like, she did. And I say that because if she never challenged me and pushed me over the max, because with an Aries, you say we can't do something, we will find the way to do what you said we didn't do. Okay, we can't do. And I remember the way she was talking to me, she's like, oh, this can't happen, that can't happen, this isn't that, the first time. And I'm like, why are you challenging me? Like, why do you want me to disrespect you? Like, because you know that you're an elder, you know that the way how it works is that you can't disrespect elders is what you think how it works. But baby, I'm not on that level. If you come at me raw, crazy, I don't care who you are. You might, depending on how the planet's sitting, you might catch that same energy back. Or if I'm in love and light energy, I won't even say nothing to you. I just probably look at you. I probably can't even hear you for real. And that'd be the problem too. Like when people are vibing high and people with low vibration come along, sometimes we can't hear them. And it's like, huh, what you say? And y'all be thinking we being smart or like, oh, we just don't want to acknowledge what you said. Sometimes we can't understand you. I might really be in my love and light energy and I can't really understand the energy codes that are coming out your mouth. So I might just look at you like, huh? But this is what really happens, guys, at all times. Like, I really feel like my aunt, she was here to challenge, like, my family. And when it comes to, breaking ancestral curses and some people wanting the change to still be on, because that means that now you can't take everything yourself. You have to spread it out. And so when you get the descendants where they were blessed by family members to be here to do exactly what they're doing now. No, baby, some of y'all are here to break ancestral curses. The more y'all do it, the more y'all be blessed, and y'all noticing that. Don't allow nobody to sway you from your purpose here on this planet. But some people's purpose is to keep you down, like some of my friends. They knew I channeled. They knew how official I was. And when I started doing healing work and we were no longer cool, I was pissed. Like when I say I was upset, I was really upset, guys, y'all. I was like, these people just used me. My one friend used to call me like, well, how you feel about her? I said, in 6 months, you and that girl ain't going to be friends no more. Y'all gonna get into an argument over something, I don't know, like, and you gonna want to fight. And me and her wasn't talking at that time, and she called me because they was about to jump her. And I still came down the street. Real nigga. All day and tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I had to say it like that, but that's what it really was. Like, me and her was not cool in that 6-month time span. And I remember like yesterday, and she called me. And the one thing I did, soon as she called me, I got up, came down the street, nobody was there. But even my other friends, she used to always be like, well, how you feel about her? Like, how you feel about this person? I used to just sit there and like, oh, you and this person gonna argue. Y'all gonna argue for this reason. They used to use me. They used me for my spiritual gifts. I said, so they always knew I was tapped in. But if I look at it from a different point of view, maybe they was there to help me with my spiritual gifts, what all I could do. You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes y'all gotta stop looking it's at the angle of where you looking at things. If you think bad things happen, then bad things happen. If you think good things happen, then good things happen. Like, oh, you know what? Maybe they was there for that. Maybe that they were there in my life to spurt me. I don't know if that's a word or not, but like spurt. Like, here, you little sprinkle a little here, sprinkle a little there. Maybe they were there just to wake me up, to show me my divine purpose, to who I really am and what I can do. Like, my whole life, like, and when I start looking at things from like a lifespan, and I'm like, man, I'm little signs here, there. Oh, okay, this is what I could do, what I can't, and some people just there for it, guys. And some people, they use you for your energy. And, some people, they use you for all the stuff that you got, any power you gave to someone. Like, real talk. Like, if you gave any power away to anybody, you need to go back and claim it. And I say that because I remember I was doing healing work, and I was wondering, like, why people can't hear me? How come I say something and the person next to me say the same thing? They heard them, but they didn't hear me. That's because I gave my power away. At that moment in time, I gave my power away. I don't have that problem no more. Everybody hears me. But at that moment in time, I did. And I was like, wow. And so when I did healing work, God actually like walked with me and showed me like, look, you used to do your divine purpose here. This is what you were born to do. Can't nobody do this job better than you. There ain't nobody who can replace you. I don't care who they are, what they do. They're not here for the same reasons that you're here for. Your divine purpose is totally different than anybody you will encounter. And I'm like, man, what? And I remember I got in trouble for speaking out about things that I knew that wasn't true, guys. But I did. I got in trouble for speaking on things. I'm like, that's not true. And I tell them what actually really happened. And my mom was like, even though you know you're right, you just can't. You really got to be careful on speaking on stuff like that. And my mom was like, well, just let me say it for you, so that way, if anybody get loud at you, I got it because I'm your mom. So I had to go back and claim my power from my mom. Real talk. And it wasn't just like claiming it from her like physically. It was more forgiving myself that I gave it up and I wasn't doing my divine purpose. And I remember at times like when I didn't say stuff, God would be like, even though I knew it needed to be said at that time, God was like, I had to have somebody else say it because I needed that to get out. Whether or not you didn't want to say it, some stuff I can let slide. The things where I had other people say it, I actually needed that to come out. So God was already teaching me like my job at a very young age. So I got to tell people that like, if you ever wondering What are people purpose in your life? And that's no longer there. They serve a divine purpose. Some people are there to keep you off your divine path. And some of these people, especially if you've been reincarnating back and back and back, y'all been doing this for years, bruh. At some point, you're going to have to cut that tie, cut that bond. So that way you can move on. So that way you don't have to sit up there and experience that at all. It's a way to do it. It's a way not to do it. But I really wholeheartedly believe everybody that's in your life serves a divine purpose. And they're all there to help you be the person who you're destined to be. So guys, if you ever want to know your divine purpose, I'll talk about that on a different episode. But if you, on your spiritual walk, on your spiritual journey, just know that the people that left and the people that are still there, they're there for a divine reason. Like your mom is there for a divine reason. Your dad, your sister, your cousin, some of the friends you had, childhood, maybe not friends now, some of the friends you had when you got older that you're not friends with, they all serve a divine purpose. They really all served a divine purpose. I ain't even mad at them. I even told my aunt, I said, thank you, I appreciate you. I see that the purpose that you served. And I said, well, for an example, and then I gave her an example, and I was like, for an example, what happened if it's a family member that's trying to keep everyone asleep? But they're mad because a whole branch is woke. I can actually say my branch is woke. When I say woke, I mean all of us woke. And people don't understand why we so woke. There are people here that's in our branch. We are here to, what can I put it to you? We're here to wake up. We're here to break those chains, rattle those chains. We're here to unite people. You can't stop us. If we're doing our divine purpose, there's nobody who can stop us, come up against us, and nothing. They better sit it down. Because all they're going to do is keep wasting time and energy for the person who's trying to stop you, whether they're a family member or not. Some people going to have to be on this way. This ain't that time. I told y'all, this is 7 years, conscious years, not that time. But guys, stop looking at it from a bad point of view of people that you're no longer friends with. Thank them. You helped me see what a real friend was, okay? Or you was here serving a divine purpose to push me to the person I need to be. Real talk, that's exactly what it is. And so, guys, I hope this resonate with you. I hope this help you out. I'm here, I'm here doing my thing. I'm going to always be here doing my thing. But I just want to tell y'all, shout out to my sis, Nikki Flavors. She definitely, I kind of lost my voice. And she definitely got me together last night. Make sure y'all follow her on Facebook. If you need any treats, you feel me? She got them. But also, she definitely did hook me up with the tea. Got me back right. And, grandma came through with the 1-2 punches, so you know what it is when it comes to grandma. But I really thank her and thank grandma at the same time. But I thank God and the universe for leading me to right where I need to be at. My divine purpose. Because people do play a divine role. I can say hey, I lost my voice. I really wasn't trying to. I was just chilling. I didn't know what was going on. And then I'm like, oh, sis calls me. I'm like, hey, she's like, what the hell is going on with your voice? And I tell her, she's like, hold on. I got to go in here. She talking on the phone and having a whole conversation. She's like, hold on, I got to go in here and make my sister some tea. While she talking, she making my tea. Real talk. That's love. And I really appreciate it. And so I'm a very appreciative person. And I always thank people who do stuff for me because it's important. At all times. Thank you. I always take my time out. But shout out to everybody who listens to my podcast. Thanks for all the people commenting, either on Instagram or on my webpage. Thanks for the people who follow me. Thanks for the people who actually take their time out to really listen to my podcast. I really appreciate it. If I could, I just send all of y'all love and light. And I pray that whatever y'all trying to manifest tenfold. Like, period, point blank, it manifests tenfold. Like there would be no stopping you. And I thank you so very much. Make sure, guys, y'all go follow me on all the major platforms. I'm on Amazon, Spotify. I'm on YouTube. I'm on, what's that? Dang, I'm trying to think. Spotify, Apple. Yeah, I know I love Apple. I'm also on Apple. Come follow me on Apple. And I just thank everybody for tapping in and tuning in with me all the time. Y'all are great. Y'all the MVPs of the world. And for the new people, y'all the MVPs too. Because we all need healing. And I'm willing to, help y'all out spiritually and just talk with y'all, use normal situations to help y'all out. But make sure y'all go follow me at the Pretty Red ENT Show .podbean hold on, shit. Hold on, PODBAN.com, podbean.com, the Pretty Red ENT Show .podbean.com. And go follow me on Instagram or go follow me on Snapchat. Y'all know I love Snapchat. Yeah. I do love some Snapchat. That's where I'm at. But Snapchat, I'm Pretty Red ENT with 2 fire signs. I thought it was 3, but I guess it's just 2 fire signs on there. You can come follow me. I'll follow everybody and subscribe to me. And I thank y'all so very much for tuning in. And I'm here for y'all. Y'all have any questions, concern, leave me a comment. Tell me how you feel about the episode. I hope it helps out the people who need to hear it. And if you know somebody who need to listen to this and they just been losing friends, you need to let them listen to this episode because it'll help them on their journey, their spiritual journey. Anybody you know that's on a spiritual journey need to listen to this because it's important and it's powerful and it's really touching because this is a question that I had during my spiritual journey, but once I started looking at it from a different angle, it helped me out. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Pretty Red ENT Show. It's your girl, Goddess Nikita, a.k.a. Pretty Red ENT.